Hello, ladies. Welcome to the live stream. Excited for everyone to be here. As you're all showing up, please take a moment and go in the chat. We are working. Go in the chat and let me know your name and where you're located. I'm Mike. I'm in California. What we're going to do today is I'm going to make a ton of time for all of you to ask questions around anything regarding dating, relationships, self-love, self-improvement, online dating, and anything you want to talk about. Also, want to make this a place if you're feeling some sort of emotion, maybe you're sad, depressed, happy, scared, excited, whatever, lonely, bored. I want this to be a place where you can come as well and share what's happening. And yeah, we'll all try to get better together. And of course, if you're really trying to progress your dating life, this is the spot. We're really good at that, and we'll try to help. So what I'm going to do before we get into Q&A, or as you're asking questions, I'm going to try to teach some things that I've learned and share some of my experiences. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So I went to see an executive coach last Friday, and she was asking me a ton of questions. And at first, I'm like, "What is happening? Where is this going?" And then eventually, I'm like, "Whoa, she got there," and it really helped. And so, what I realized, I don't know through what questions, because this was a week ago, so I kind of forgot what she asked, but I remember what I learned. And what I learned is I'm a high achiever. And what high achievers do is they do something really well, and then they can get burnt out. And she's like, she diagnosed that I was burnt out from high achieving. And then there's reasons why you burn out. And so I was burning out because there was no more growth. So as humans, although we love to be in comfort, really what we truly crave is growth all the time. Like we want to be growing all the time. And of course, within growth and within stressful moments, we need rest. Rest is important. But ultimately, like we want to be going upward. If we go like this, we're very unhappy. We don't like that. So what I would do is I would go from activity to activity, becoming really good at them. Maybe not the best, but like at a very high level. And then I'd get bored because I'd stop growing in that, whether it be like soccer, pickleball, a video game, dating, anything. It gets stagnant for me once I achieve. And so it's just a pattern of me picking up new thing after new thing, getting good at it, and then on to the next thing, and then achieving, and then on to the next thing. But what I realized, or what she kind of explained to me, the executive coach, is like, what is your vision? Like, what are your, like, what thrills you? What is the biggest thing that you could possibly want? Or what do you really want? And then I realized like all these achievements weren't towards my vision of what I really wanted from my life. So I was just bouncing around, and it's a trap because I get excited by these things and I'm like, ooh, I want to be really good at it. And, you know, if I like something, I'm like, ooh, I want to be good. And I've got to, and also not only do I have to be good, but I wanted to prove to everyone in that group or the people doing it that I'm competent, and I need them to see me as pretty good. But then, like, isn't my vision, like right now I'm playing this video game, and like, is my vision to be good at this video game? Is that accomplishing the goals I want for my life? I would argue, no. I would say it's not my vision. Yeah, so our what we're doing should match our vision. Like, for example, if you're trying to date and you're like, I want to find my partner, I want to find my husband, or I want to find my life partner, and then you keep going on dates with someone it's not going to be the person, or maybe you are kind of exclusive with someone, or like spending a lot of time with someone, but it's not your person. Like, that doesn't align with your vision. Your vision's like, I want to have an amazing partner that lasts forever. But then your actions are you're with Joe Schmo who doesn't cut the mustard to be your life partner. It's like good enough for now. So we're kind of like sacrificing these dopamine hits of, well, let me have this person for now. Let me have this fun for now. Let me have this achievement for now, instead of the long-term vision. So we need to be strategic in what we're doing with our time. Like, is it headed towards what we actually want, or is it just, that dopamine hit? And it comes in everything. It's like, if you're trying to lose weight and then you're eating cookies, you're like, ooh, dopamine hit. That's yummy. Right? And it shows up all the time in dating. Like, ooh, this feels good. This person says they like me. And I know we're never going to be together long term. But right now they really like me and they're making me feel good about myself. Okay, I'll go out with them again. No, that's a waste of time. It's not your vision to be with this person. All right, folks. The main purpose of this is Q&A. So feel free to go in the comments. First, say hello, say your name, where you're located. And then if you have any questions, that's what I'd really like to serve you with today. I'd really love to help with how you're feeling, dating, relationships, self-love. Put whatever you want in the comments. Yeah, so I'm trying to work on going towards my vision instead of using my old programming, which is, hey, there's this thing, let's go achieve in that. Let's go be the best. Let's go prove to everyone I'm competent. It's not necessary. It's for, my ego. It's for that programming of, when I was a child of, not being competent, being seen as good enough. So we don't need to play by that old programming anymore. Which makes me wonder, like, for yourself, like, is there something, like, what causes you to do the things you do? And that might be something to think about. Like, what is your subconscious? Like, when you go do X, like, what got you to do X? And then why are we doing X? Is X ultimately towards my grander vision for life? And if it's not, can we go a different route? Oh, I want to grab this. This was so useful. I want to tell you about this. Let me see if I can find it. So when planning for the next year, your goal, first make a goal that is basically almost impossible or feels impossible. So then make a goal that's impossible, step one. And then step two, the goal has to be worth the cost of whatever it would take for you to achieve it. And I think that's so beautiful. because it's like the goal's so big, but it's got to be worth it. Because I remember, so this is where it really hit me. I was looking at, like, so I started playing this video game where there's people that play it every single day for the last 20 years, and they're really good. And I was like, for me to even like compete with them, I'd probably need to spend the next 2 years playing every day. And my old programming was like, I've got to prove to them I'm competent. I've got to be worthy. And I don't know why I need to prove it to them, but this is just how I'm wired. And then I like the second part of this was like, is the goal worth the cost? So if I played every single day and got as good as these people, what would it do for me? It would make me like basically no money. And so people I don't really know that are on the internet would now have respect for me. What's the point of that? Like, is that what I want to do? No. What else did we get? Instead of like, what do I want to do? What am I capable of? Say a lot. So I think like in the dating context, like what would be impossible or improbable? Well, I'm going to meet my life partner in 6 months. That seems pretty improbable, right? Maybe it'll, but then if like, what's the cost? Like, what do I need to do to meet my life partner in the next 6 months? Well, is it like I need to go on 1 date a week with someone who I'm excited about for the next 6 months? How do I do that? Well, I've got to send messages online. I've got to go to things in person. So I've got to make this effort. And then I can have that. Is it worth it? Like, do I want to do all that? Is going on these dates, is putting in the effort worth my life partner? I mean, I think for some of you, the answer is like, no, that's not worth it. And that's great. Don't do it. That's not something you want to do. But for others, it's like, that is worth it. Well, now we've got something. And then if you're like, yeah, that's really worth it, well, then I might encourage you to work with someone like me who's really good at that and can speed the whole thing up and help you. All right, if you're just popping in, this is a question and answer. So go in the chat and write something. Write your question. All right. So a bunch of you just popped in. Say hello in the chat. Just type your name and where you're from. I'm Mike. I'm from California. All right, I'll wait for your questions to come in. But we'll talk about my vision, what I want. Say it out loud. We'll see if it still resonates. So I wrote this down a bit ago. I want to work 20 hours per week, spend time with family, aka Paige, and maybe a child that we have one of these days. I want to work out. I want to be playing soccer and pickleball, going on vacations, growing in my career and personal life. And personal life is just like becoming a better version of me, being a better partner to Paige. In my career, I'd like to have people above and below me. Hey, Lee from Central California, welcome. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions around dating, relationships, self improvement, self love, or whatever's happening in your life, please write a question and I'll answer. While you're doing that, I'm going to continue to talk about my vision. So as an entrepreneur, there's not really people above me kind of report to me. So it's been 11 years without having like a mentor really. I think that'd be nice. I could use someone, be nice to have some support in that way. Someone who's ahead of me and can help. I'm tired of, being the person and then also being the best at this. The other thing I learned is when you perceive yourself as the best, you're not really open to getting feedback from others. So it's such like a limiting belief. Like when you say I'm the best, what would be more serving to me is like today I'm going to try to be better than yesterday and not worry about like how I rank or whatever. Like how do I improve constantly? And don't look left and right, just look right ahead and just get better. Okay. Well, folks, what questions do you have? Or Lee, Central California, how are you today? Like, what's going on? What brought you, out of curiosity, what brought you to this live stream? Like, what can I help you with? Okay. Might have scared Lee away. Anyone else that is here? Feel free to say hello or any questions you have. And while you guys are coming up with questions for me, anyone else that's viewing, feel free to go in the description. There's links to some free gifts I have for all of you. Go get your hands on some free gifts. And what those free gifts are like how to get a man in 90 days, what do men need to fall in love, and so how men want to be texted and a bunch of other stuff. And they're all videos. Some of them are my findings after polling 2,000 men. So they're some very good advice. It's all free. You just have to, you click a link and then you got to plop in your email address. So then on the email list, I'll just be sending you some free videos. I think weekly. My assistant will send you a video. Everything's free. So hopefully you enjoy. And of course, if the videos or the emails start annoying you, but it's only once a week, you can opt out. All right. Lively crew here today. Any questions about anything, dating? relationships, your life, love. This time is meant for all of you. I'm here to serve. Hi, Lee from Central Cal. Beauty for Ashes. Do you recommend speeding dating events? That's a good question. I recommend trying anything and everything. You never know what's going to work. If your time is extremely limited, or even if it's not, but like, you don't want to give away a day to something, I would really try to get a hold of the speed dating event and be like, what's the demographic that's coming? So like, do they have folks that you're excited? Like, if you're, let's say, a 60-year-old and they've got, 90% 30-year-olds, and you want to date people, near your age, ideally 4 years from your age, maybe going to that event doesn't make sense. So yeah, like trying to get information from them about like who is going to be there. So 40 plus will be attending. So if you're 40 plus, yeah, I mean, I would definitely give it a shot. I feel like when I talk to people and they go, they either like, it was fun, there were some opportunities, or other people like it was awful. I always like to manage my expectations. I just go, I'm probably not going to meet my person, but I'll just go have fun. And then you go have fun. And you see what happens. Especially like if you haven't been on a lot of dates and like, or you've been out of the game for a while, I think it's so great. Like it really hones what you're going to say, answering questions. I think it's great for a skill set too. It like kind of gets your little pitch down of how you're going to market yourself. So even from that front, like let's say you meet no one that's exciting, you like, I don't know how many speed dates you'll get, maybe like 10, 20, whatever it is. You're going to hone like, oh, this is what I do for a living. This is who I am. This is where I live. Like you're going to get it all down to an efficient like way that hopefully markets yourself well. So all for it. Let's see what Lee has to say. How to know how long a 67-year man with autoimmune sickness? Is it better the two can live to the same age? If not, it's okay now. But one may not last as long as the other. How do you figure? How long can relationship last? Depend how long the couple. How do you figure that out? So I think what I'm hearing is you're dating a partner, a 67-year-old man with an autoimmune sickness, and you're wondering like how long you'll be able to be together. I think that'd be a great question for that man and whatever doctor they're seeing, like to get a ballpark on how long they live. And then, with that information, I think there's like a few mindsets. Like, let's do like worst case scenario. They've got like 5 months or, something short. Some people have the mindset like, I adore this person. 5 months is better than, I'd rather have 5 months with this person than no months. So let's just do it. Other people, go, I want to find someone who, in theory, is going to live as long as me or has a chance to. So this scares me. And I don't want to be a nurse and a purse or whatever. So maybe it's not for you. it just all depends how you view it and what you want to do. But yeah, I would try to at least get some information from the guy and maybe from his doctor on how long. Is this like brand newly, or like have you been dating this person for a while? Like I think if it's brand new, like I'd obviously try to find someone healthy. But if you've like, I don't know, if you're already really vested and really like the person, but like if you've been on 3 dates or something, you probably don't fully know the person. Maybe there's other options. So you've been with this person for 5 months. Well, the good news is you've been with them long enough where you should be able to ask them, you know, how long, how bad this disease is, how long they're going to live. And then you could decide what you want to do. Also, to go back, sorry, was that, did I answer your question? Was that helpful? Beauty for Ashes? And Lee, is that helpful? No doctor knows. I guess the other thing is like currently, like, are you able to like do all the things you want to do with this person? Like, can they walk? Can they talk? Can they, do the things that you want to do? Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like I don't understand the disease. I don't know what the disease is. But then also knowing, like, also talking through what the plan is. Like, let's say this thing gets bad and however long, and now you are really like each other. Like, are you going to ride this out together? Are you going to take care of them? Is someone else going to take care of them? Um, can you forecast, like, is that something you want to do? I wonder if they like can tell you about how like how the degradation process looks like. Like, I've been around people with Parkinson's and I've seen how they degrade. Like, I don't know what this is and what that looks like. And just like coming to, is that something I'm willing to go through with this person? Yeah. So right now he's great. Yeah. I'd really be curious as to like what the degradation is going to be. And then, am I willing to be a part of that? And what role does he want me to be in that? Yeah. Is that helpful? Mm. What else can I help you folks with? Mhm. So you want to hear an interesting stat I learned this week? So if you ask someone a question about something, for example, let's say someone was not planning to buy a car, just living and breathing, and you go, hey, in the next year, are you going to buy a car? You will increase the amount of people that are going to buy a car just by asking that question by 33%. So what's interesting is if we ask questions, we start doing things. So kind of interesting. Little sneaky trick. You'd be like, do you think we're going to get married this year? Got them thinking about it. Probably increased your chances now that there was a question. All right. If you have some questions about dating, relationships, online dating, anything self-improvement, self-love, or just want to tell me what's happening in your week, go put it in the comments. Would love to hear what's happening. Easy dating pen. Quiet bunch today. Hey, Susan's here. Hi, Susan. Nice to see ya. What's going on in your life? Happy Thursday. Let's see what Lee says. What slow you down for married to get married? You know each other well, seems. Oh, that's a good question. The real answer is fear, and the fear is like I know a bunch of people that have gotten divorced, and like I think we have an amazing relationship now, and I think the fear is like, I've been told that we have Like every 7 years, we become pretty different people. So like I'm just imagining in like 20 years, 30 years, how different we'll be. And then maybe we'll be so different we don't want to be together, and then we have to get divorced. And it just sounds like a lot of work to get divorced. So that doesn't sound fun. But I think with the way things are now, I'd be open to it. If that answers your question. What do you do again, Susan? I forget. Focusing on your career. You're welcome. Try to be honest. I'm an automation manager. Is it normal for 53-year-old guys to act like a player? Do they ever want to settle down? I'm only 46 years old. I'm just confused. Ha! Susan, I have some bad news for you. There will be players and men that don't want to settle down at every single age, including 80. Yeah, it's funny. Like, I just assumed like that was a 20-year-old thing. Like, oh, be a player. It's not. It's just like we go in and out of phases. Um, some people stay in phases for a long time, or never leave a phase. Like some person may be, I am only relationships. Another person might be, I am only fun, dating for fun, player. I'm trying to have sex. And then there'll be people that like, maybe right after a divorce, they're like, I just want to explore, have some fun. And now I'm back in relationship mode. So yeah, every different age, you're going to have every different scenario. But you should be able to tell. Like a guy that's really looking for a relationship is, especially if you date slowly. Like I think this is the easiest way to tell. If you're like, hey, I just want a relationship, if you just go slowly, have hour and a half dates, see a guy once a week for like 6, 10 weeks and don't have sex and just like hour and a half dates and get to know each other. If he's happy to like, go at this pace and, maybe you go to third base at some point, but like you're not ready to have sex yet, just trying to get to know each other, and he's just happy to spend time with you and happy to get to know you and is just enjoying it, that's a good sign. If he's like really pushing sex and like, maybe he doesn't like you that much, or maybe he's not looking for a relationship. I don't know. I'm just thinking like with Paige, when I was ready for a relationship and I really liked her, we didn't have sex for a while, a long time, maybe 20 dates. And I didn't really care. We were having fun. The most thing I was looking for is just validation that she really liked me like I liked her, which, came up pretty early. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't wasting time because, as a man, like I'm going to, try to kiss her or whatever. And even when I tried to kiss her, she wasn't quite ready, which is fine. But just knowing that she likes me and then I like her, and then, on date 4, 5, 7, 10, whatever, am I having fun? So yeah, then I was going to keep going. But yeah, you'll see guys fall off if they're just looking for sex. You're not going to get to date 3, 4, 5, 6. if they don't like you and they're just looking for sex. The guy's looking for a relationship. They're going to keep showing up if they like you. So I like to remove variables. So it's like, we have a lot of hormones when we have sex. So we don't necessarily need those. So let's just see if we like each other. And can we become friends? Like with Paige, I felt like there was a friendship. And so I thought that was important too, because since we're friends, it's well, how do I want to treat my friend? I want to be nice to my friend. I want to be good to them. Versus women that weren't my friends, I don't really necessarily have to be that nice to them because they're not my friends. So if they're not my friends and they're just as acquaintance, I don't need to treat them well. And I think you're going to find that a man that doesn't build a friendship with you, he's going to use you. He's going to be fine having sex and never calling you. You're just an acquaintance. You're not someone he cares about. Susan, what's your vision? I just wonder, what's your vision for life? You're focusing on your career, but if I had, if you had to close your eyes and just imagine the wildest thing for yourself, in 5 years from now, 10 years, where would your life be? What would the vision be? What gets you so excited? If you could be there in 10 years, you'd be like, this is great. This is perfect. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted for my life. And it could be about work. It could be about your friends, your family, your house. It could be how you feel, what you're doing. What would get you so excited if this was where you were in, 5 or 10 years? I want to be married to a doctor. Cool. I bet you can, if that's legit, I got a question. If you had to do the hard work, would it be worth it? If we said, there's meetup groups for doctors, and then you just started showing up to these meetup groups, or you filtered your online dating and only messaged doctors and would go through hundreds, thousands of guys to just message doctors, or you did a search to see if there's a medical dating site, or a site for doctors, or just go on meetup.com and find groups for doctors, or you start hanging around hospitals and as you see doctors walking out, you're like, hey, are you single? Or even the nurses, hey, is there any single doctors? I'm trying to date one. Would all this hard work be worth if you got married to a doctor? Because I think that's when visions are exciting. If you want to do the work, that means your vision is worth it. If you don't want to do the work, then maybe the vision's not the actual vision, or the vision's not grand enough, or that exciting enough. At least that's what I learned this week. For example, if I'm a dating coach, a love coach, one of my visions that I came up with, and I don't need to do this, but like yours, it's fun. I was I want to be a professional soccer coach. And if I wanted to, I could start doing all the hard work. I could go coach club soccer. I could get up the ranks, start winning, get to the higher, maybe do high school. Then I get onto a college assistant coach, and then blah, blah, blah. And then you just keep working up. I'd have to do all that hard work for 15 years. And then maybe I become a professional soccer coach. Do I want to do that? Not really, I don't think. So maybe in that case, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Or maybe I don't really want it that much. So anyway, Susan, do you want to do all the hard work to date a doctor, I wonder? I'm not sure. I go see a doctor a lot due to my health. Doctors treat me with more respect than regular guys, but they're all married. Well, I think we have to be careful here, right? Like, they kind of have to. They're in a job setting, they have to be respectful. And they're also not trying to sleep with you, they're trying to get paid for being a doctor. But I think what's really interesting is like you want respect. So I think that's like great clarity. You're looking for a guy that's going to respect you. I wonder why that's not happening from regular guys. I always find that interesting. Like, how does that happen? Like, I couldn't imagine being rude to someone on a date, just like, or not being respectful. Like, I may not like someone, but at least I'll be like courteous, like, walk them to their car or hold the door for them, thank them for going on a date with me. I don't know, just be polite. I think that's like the bare minimum. When these guys don't respect you, like, what do they do? I wonder. Let's see what Nate says. Is it realistic to think you will ever find a girl you trust enough to marry and not have to worry she will steal half of your livelihood? It's a good question. I think it's like kind of a loaded question. Like, I think you can trust someone, but also there may be scenarios where they have to do something to get some to like, what happens if you decide, like, hey, let's say you get, like, I marry someone and then we decide she's going to take care of the kids and I'm going to work, and then 20 years 30 years later we get divorced, and now, like, you kind of have to support that woman because she just forego her career to take care of children, or vice versa. Maybe the man decides to not work. I think there's scenarios where you kind of have to take care of each other. And also, I think, if both parties are going to work, like you can sign a prenup and say, hey, we're not splitting things. Or, I'm coming into this with X money and I'm leaving it with X money. Me personally, I'm all for prenuptial agreements. I'm all for all kinds of contracts in relationships. So, like a relationship regarding or a contract regarding money, prenuptial agreement before marriage, all for. I'm also for like how we are going to treat each other. Like write down what our expectations of emotional treatment are in the relationship. Like every year, like come up with like this is how we're going to treat each other. Like did we meet this year, or even check-ins a lot more frequently, but like are we on pace for treating each other the way we want to treat each other? And if not, let's do a course correction. Or if it's going so poorly time and time after again, like maybe this relationship isn't working. When you break up with a guy, he immediately goes on Facebook and adding more female friends. Is he desperate? I mean, there's a million reasons why he could be adding women. He may need validation constantly from females. And so the moment he's not getting validation from you, he needs to be getting it from someone else because he can't validate himself. It's a possible option. He's really hurting and he doesn't know how to sit with his emotions. And so the best way to not be sad is to distract himself with another woman. Could have no feelings and just be looking for his partner and want to try to find her and move on to the next. Could just enjoy looking at hot women and with the hopes of DMing them and maybe them meeting up at some point. I don't know. But my first three possibilities are pretty likely if I know anything about men. Were those answers helpful, Nate, Susan? You are welcome. Who else has some questions? Or what other questions do we have? I'd be curious too, like, so Nate hops on. I don't know if he's still here. Is it realistic to think you will ever find a girl you trust enough to marry and not have to worry she will steal half of your livelihood? I think a lot of men are having this fear. And I wonder what the ladies on this chat, like what their response is to this. Because I think it's sometimes nice to hear from women. Because I think a lot of men have this concern. And I bet you, like a lot of the time, this is just a story men create. And I know I've created this story and this concern. And it's probably for most of the time, it's just a story and it's not like reality. But I'd be curious if the women have any thoughts on this. Does anyone have an opinion on this, or anyone have a question? Okay. All right, friends. I don't think anyone has any more questions. I think we'll end here. Unless anyone has a last minute question. Give it 10 more seconds. Oh. All right. And before we go, head in the description. There's a lot of free gifts. Click the link to get some free gifts. There'll be some videos that I think will help all of you. All right. Love you. See ya. Thanks for joining me. Everyone take care.